Okay, let's play chapter 1. A woman mysteriously died in her own apartment, and it is up to Nate to figure out who it is. But not to worry, Damien is also here to offer support. Great, 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 great. Okay, I'm on PC. Ooh, Oliveria Chase, age 25, cause of death undetermined, time of death 2 to 3 a.m. last night. It is unknown how the woman died within her apartment. Police are now investigating the situation. Yes. Sorry. What were we doing again? We're at my dad's. Well, your boss is promising doing his job for him. No, I'm fine. Let's just continue. A detective assistant. My boss is not too fond of me. I'm not sure if it's because of the way I dress or it's how I act, but he always finds some reason to give me extra work to do. Although I'm quite fed up with him, there's not much I can do if I don't want to lose my job. The person standing in front of me is Damien, my best friend since high school. And the most surprising fact is that his dad is my boss. Yeah. Yet, despite that, it seems like he treats Damien and I pretty much the same. I assume it's because Damien is more of a rebellious person, but Damien knows exactly what he's doing, even though he's just a college student. Maybe it's because of the influence of his father, but he knows a thing or two about being a detective. It's honestly really impressive if I do say so myself. Okay. I did a prologue before this, so alright. If you're okay, then let's continue our investigation. First, you might want to start investigating the whole house. For now, you'll want to focus on investigating items that my dog is barking that might be related to the victim's death. The things in the house that look suspicious, you could investigate them. Try clicking on the chalk outline and I'll tell you what happened. She was taken out before we got here. The cops first on the scene took a quick look around, but they had to leave once the professionals arrived. That's us, by the way. Right. And so it's up to us to crack the case, and this is the initial report they've written about the dead body. By pressing the notebook on your right, you'll be able to review everything that you've found. Okay. I'm currently working as a detective assistant, though I am not true detective yet. I am aiming to become one in the future. Okay. Alright. Cleanup investigation. You sure don't need to suspend us what we're ordered to do here. Did you turn the air conditioner on? Yes, no, I didn't turn it on. It's been like this since we got here. It's 16 degrees. It's cold. Eating rations before it happens. Please don't do that. Okay. Dirt. Um, Jamison, run a test on the dirt samples once you go anyway. A chair. The chair is on the floor. There must have been some sort of struggle before she died on the floor. You'll be nice if you keep mentioning the obvious. Okay. Okay. What's in the trash can? There's a lot of broken glass. Blood. You sure you didn't just cut yourself? Huh, okay. Seems like I can't click anything in here. I don't think I should bother them. Okay. Okay, let's enter the bathroom. A piece of cloth. I'm guessing she washed her clothes prior to her death. But why didn't she hang out outside the bathroom? Isn't the most efficient place to dry clothes. Maybe she was trying to straighten it. I don't see an iron in this house. What was the weather yesterday? Sunny. So, why would you sniff it? No. Okay, I can't take anything much in here. Um, Sticky note. Meet John at 3 p.m. He's the man with her in that photograph we saw. I haven't even looked at the photograph yet. More than friends? Only if you're betting to lose. She's married to Mr. Chase. If you're married, why would you... Okay. So there's one first trauma to the head. There's only one more clue that I haven't gotten yet. They're drinks. She must have been thirsty. I'm surprised your bladder is still holding up. What do you mean by that? She didn't drink alone, is what I'm saying. What do you mean? This is the scene of a murder, Damien. Take it seriously. You don't need an autopsy. The woman died from a glass bottle to the head. And we're just here for the claimants. Also, where's Mr. Chase? Isn't he Oliveira's husband? The police took him into custody to question him. Cops doing their jobs. Color me surprised. John has also been taken in. We should probably go down to the police station and interview him later. Let's just go and have the evidence analyzed. Maybe Dr. Jamison will be able to help. Don't be mean. It's good that he's passionate about his job, I guess. Okay. I want to get to the crime solving part already, and so I want to collect the evidence that we find. Bagging and labeling them, the works. I'm gonna grab myself some iced coffee before I head to the department. If you're gonna have me drive your own like a chauffeur, you better start paying me like one. Marbucks. Marbucks? I don't drink it that often. Anyways, I'm heading in now. Stay here and wait for me. Whatever. Oh my god, my dog is barking. Who give a fuck? Who's this fair lady? Diane. Here you go. Okay. Please come upstairs and meet him in the lab. He'll be waiting for you. I want to go to the lab immediately. Oh, Jamison's office. OCD nightmare. I feel like we shouldn't be here. Give me back the finish your report. Case 3379. My dog is barking. Like, wow. I feel like I should. Okay. Well, I don't know where the hell the. What do you mean? The assumption doesn't sound completely right, does it? I don't know. I guess we'll see once we get the analysis. Maybe it'll make more sense afterwards. Seem to accept that assumption, even if that's what the police seem to be rolling with right now. But I can't help but feel like I'm being out of line to even think about challenging the official explanation. I'm just a detective's assistant after all. I have to see what Jameson says first. Hmm. For not having to prepare. Okay. I told this working so much. Hello. He's so cute. Wait, I'm looking screenshotting that. Haha. What brings you here to my humble abode? The autopsy. And if you can get a print from the shards. Alright. There's something I want to know. Not no can do there's not going to be what? Not unless you find a good enough reason to talk with someone for and putting them back together hard work, you know. So the department tries not to do it unless we really have to. Sorry to disappoint you, Nate. Oh, sure. We haven't processed her. Oh my god, I'm gonna see a dead body. Shouldn't too much trouble. Wait a second. Oh my god, she's dead. Hello? It's weird. I knew it'd be count on this line of work, but I can change the feeling of uneasiness in me. Having to handle this once living, breathing, dreaming person like a lifeless object. It's strange how much is actually lost when a person dies without our thoughts or dreams and a beating hearts like kept the rest of our organs functioning alive. We really just become no more than an object, just matter being held together in a human form. There really is nothing crueler than a person who's willing to take that away from someone. I have to find out what really happened. That's the least I could do for her right now. Existential. Okay. Must just be where the killer struck her. The cuts would be consistent with the shards we saw. The bottle must have broken on impact. Huh. Blood wasn't circulating when she received that injury, so she was. So I guess just gonna around it swell our bodies through this because so soon area risk kind of bacteria were given by sending more white blood cells over, which are cells in your blood that are used for combating these outside the invaders. They'll be able to prevent you from getting an infection by destroying the bacteria first, but obviously all that's not going to happen if the person is already dead. Well, this is his dad? The edges of the broken skin are abnormally sharp, right? That's also a sign of post-mortem injuries and indicates that rigor mortis had already set in at the time of injury. So she was already dead? The bodies are decomposing after that. Would have died from a number of things if she'd actually been killed at least 2 hours before being struck in that apartment. Surely died there. I have to write this down. Yeah, she was already dead. Arm. Small bruises peppered throughout. There isn't much evenness to how they're spread throughout. What are these? Her blood vessels seem to be clotting in certain places. Looks like even James is stamped on this one. The upper part of it feels unnaturally where it's like something inside is keeping it up forcefully. What's this area called? Diaphragm muscle. It helps you breathe and stuff. It feels bloated. Because she drank. That's what happens when you drink, right? Oh, ice? So she froze to death. There's just clothing that got wet on her place. Doesn't make sense. How come none of the apartment was wet if she was? Court said that her hair was damp when they found her. I think I found her answer. The ice crystals are all on the underside of her clothing. I'd say the clothing was about half dried when she was taken in here. Our killer wasn't quite thorough with drying up the victim, it seems. There's something out of what warrants a full autopsy to be done. Yeah. Is something wrong? The implications here aren't great. Regardless, you two should be going now. I'll have your announced and autopsy ready by the evening. I'll give you a call then. Okay. I'm concerned. Whatever we uncovered seems to have unnerved him. That's fair. He's right, you know. The fact that they were about to pass the body off without even properly looking into it doesn't exactly inspire confidence. Okay. Despite the fact that I'm supposed to be the real detective here, sometimes I even feel like he's the one who should be in my place. But I know that Damien would hate that. There's nothing he hates more than bureaucracy. He's only here because of me. I'm glad to have a friend like him. Hmm. This is a place with Detective Ambrose. May I please have a few minutes with the suspect first? 5 minutes? We only have 5 minutes to talk to him? Well, okay, wait a second. Okay. That's about where he was. On the night of the murder, I was outside by myself. The sun so inconvenient. Oh, shut up! You need to calm down. I know there's no one who can corroborate my story, but every Friday, I like to jog in the abandoned park near my place. I'm too busy to exercise most of the days of the week, you see, so I keep it to the weekend. I did the same thing yesterday. Is there any reason in particular that you jog at night? But that doesn't mean a part fault, does it? Yeah. Oh, John. What's your relationship with Mrs. Chase? I noticed she had a picture of you and her in her apartment too. One of my closest actually, we met when I first got my job at the company. She was so kind and friendly, no matter how much of a dunce I was. I was pretty reliant on her at first, to be honest. But these days, we just hang out every now and then. Audie is a huge outdoors person, so she always drags me to all these crazy places that I'd otherwise had never gone to. I can't believe she's really gone. Olivia is one of the best people I know. You had to believe that I didn't kill her. Okay. Due at 3 p.m. What can you tell us about that? Ollie's been off sick leave since like Wednesday. She texted me on Thursday saying that she wanted to take some files off of her and asked to meet up Friday. I don't understand why she didn't just email them to me, but I went anyway. Now that I think about it, she looked kind of antsy at the time I was meeting up with her. Like she was acting all restless and stuff. She looked really sweaty and kept checking around her. Actually, it got so bad that I needed to take her home. But I thought it was because of whatever flu she got. Does that mean you were at the apartment on the day of the murder? That's what to me at this park down the slope, close to a building, but walking all the way back up while supporting her really tired me out. So she invited me in for a sec to have a drink. I think we had some kind of soda, sorry. It was just whatever she found in her fridge. She did do a lot of notes and highlighting on it though, so I guess that's why she wanted. Wait, let me see. There's a secret code there. Aw. No. Brother, I don't want to eat. It's not every day you get to eat pancakes for dinner. Lord. What about it? many things about this right now that just don't add up. I know, right? It seems like they're trying to sell the narrative that it's an open and shut case where John bludgeoned Oliveira to death and that's that. But it wouldn't make too much sense. It's strange, it's really strange. I can't wrap my head around it. Mrs. Chase was murdered by an unknown means at 10 p.m. on the 25th. Sometime at least 2 hours later, she had been bludgeoned with some kind of glass bottle in her apartment. Mrs. Chase also met with John at 3 p.m. on the day of the murder and had also gotten herself completely soaked by unknown means. Sherlock Holmes and stuff, a leap of logic to connect the dots. Let me give you an example. When Mrs. Chase was first discovered, there was an entirely no notice that she'd been completely soaked. How can this be? The killer dried her off. But just how did they dry her off? The towel, the damp towel. The AC. Plus more water absorbent areas like her hair and the fact were still damp. Whether or not doesn't change the fact that Mrs. Chase was killed, yet the killer made a huge effort in hiding that fact. Why would they do such thing? The killer could have been traced back. The killer was afraid of that because they essentially left a red herring on the crime scene to throw the investigation off. Postmortem bludgeoning. The motive of the killer? Okay, the true location of the murder. It's about their intention. What does the killer's efforts at placing the murder at the apartment tell us about their intention? The killer wanted to the least. The killer liked the apartment better. The killer was trying to frame someone. She died 2 hours before the bludgeoning of her head, and then the killer tried to dry her off with AC. In order to avoid this, the killer decides to disguise it by first moving Mrs. Chase's body into the apartment. Using the towel and the AC to dry her body out as much as possible, the hanging strip would also corroborate this theory. To completely mask their involvement in the murder, the killer had even gone through the effort of purposefully misleading the police, striking the victim on the head in order to create a second potential cause of death. Somehow, the killer knew that the police would investigate further if there was an obvious cause of death at the scene. But that wasn't enough either. The killer wanted a scapegoat too, and the killer had a specific one in mind because they knew that John was at the apartment that day. In conclusion, the killer is someone who has insight into the goings of Mrs. Chase's apartment and has at least some level of knowledge of police homicide procedures. The killer is somehow personally implicated by the true scene of the murder, and Mrs. Chase could not have been killed in her own apartment. Curiouser and curiouser. I keep forgetting this is Roblox, and I until I see these two over here. But you are capable. Okay. So you just managed to deduce my own feelings completely. That's good detective work too, Damien. You underestimate how obvious low confidence looks like to other people. Who the hell? Where's April? Hello? Oh my god, that's Jamison. Yeah. Reporters are done, but he doesn't sound too excited about it. Please don't call it that. And I feel like whatever Jameson found might be related to what we just deduced. That's more like it. Doesn't it feel better to say it out loud? Wait, the dirt. The dirt. The dirt has to come from somewhere. The beach. Thank you for coming such short notice. How should I say this? It appears that Mrs. Chase's death was caused by drowning. The dirt sample also supports this. Oh, that's from a river within the neighborhood. The same dirt was also in her lungs. Oh, wow. That's a huge lead. That's great news. Thank you so much for your help. Is something wrong? Not too well. It's just when I went to amend the report, her files were all unavailable. Someone from the inside. If or you know, there's ever a report and search someone for it. Okay. Someone's intentionally trying to keep this under wraps and they're making John take the fall for it. But why would they do that? This isn't a particularly high profile case. I really hope it isn't, but you're the detective in charge of this case currently, right? If you bring this in before they make a formal allegation on John, we might still be able to serve this case back around. Okay. Driving back and forth must be like, wait a second, guys. They can't be covering it up, right? I mean, that's conspiracy. Damien's deductions were on point, but neither of us knew that it could lead to this. My mic just fell. What the? I'm the detective. This is my job, Loki. How could I, in good conscience, let an innocent man be punished for a crime he did not commit? But we don't know that yet. What if he did commit it? How would I be able to see what I know I had to just shut up? No, of course the police is always stupid. I wouldn't last a day in this job. No, he did not. The case is now handled by your dad. Your dad is the killer. seems assigned to this case. It's true. Doesn't matter. You two are both off, and that's final. You're the murderer. You are no longer in charge of deceiving your will of warfare and subordination. Wouldn't you look too good in it? Come on. When we have evidence that he's innocent, neither of them is talking now. Everything went silent. Everyone at the station is staring at us, staring at the scene that they've made. We've definitely messed up this time. Uh, but John is. What the hell are we supposed to do? Should have dug into it in the first place. What's this damn issue? We had it right there. We could have solved it right then and there and figured out what happened. Now we'll never know what happened to poor Mrs. Oliveira, all because he decided to butt his stupid. There's going to be something going on behind the scenes. I don't trust him. I don't trust anybody in this goddamn station. Okay. I can't see the reason either, but what can we do? He's not going to let us back in. And now I'm probably going to get a warning on my record. Okay, I finished chapter 1. What I think, because we don't know anything about, we don't know anything about the husband. Oh my god. We don't know anything about the husband. I'm surprised that we haven't asked much about like the husband because she's missing.